Well, here's a story that's received almost no media attention, but that is upending American society. It has been less than a year and a half since Donald Trump got elected, but the Democratic Party has changed pretty dramatically. Just 6 years ago, for example, during his 2012 State of the Union, President Obama said this about immigration. Watch.
I believe as strongly as ever that we should take on illegal immigration. That's why my administration has put more boots on the border than ever before. That's why there are fewer illegal crossings than when I took office.
Well, that's unimaginable today. Obama could not say that and would not say that. Instead, prominent Democrats are now calling for the abolition of federal immigration enforcement. The Nation magazine described ICE as, quote, an unaccountable strike force executing a campaign of ethnic cleansing. The state of California is threatening law enforcement officers there with arrest if they cooperate with ICE, even to apprehend criminals. Impoverished Democratic cities like Baltimore have set aside tax dollars to help illegal immigrants fight deportation. How long before the National Party calls for giving illegal immigrants the right to vote? That's actually happening in some towns in Maryland already. Yesterday on this show, we interviewed an immigration activist who said that foreign nationals ought to be able to vote anywhere in the country. That used to be a fringe position. It's not anymore. On the Second Amendment, meanwhile, the Democratic Party has moved to advocating for gun control. It's been going on for a long time, to pushing for government gun confiscation. That's a big change. Just 2 years ago, here was Hillary Clinton's position on firearms.
I'm not looking to repeal the Second Amendment. I'm not looking to take people's guns away. But I am looking for more support for the reasonable efforts that need to be undertaken to keep guns out of the wrong hands.
Well, those words could have been uttered any time in the last 30 years, but that was then. Democrats have just spent the last month openly calling for gun confiscation, Australia-style gun confiscation. And then just yesterday, former Supreme Court Justice John Paul Stevens demanded the repeal of the Second Amendment. Others have followed. That would have been unthinkable just a few years ago. And then on the subject of abortion, in the 1990s, you often heard Bill and Hillary Clinton say abortion ought to be, quote, safe, legal, and rare. As recently as 2009, Barack Obama agreed with them. Watch.
So let us work together to reduce the number of women seeking abortions. Let's reduce unintended pregnancies. Let's make adoption more available. Let's provide care and support for women who do carry their children to term.
That was the position of the Democratic Party, really from Roe v. Wade until about yesterday, that even though abortion should remain legal, it was undesirable. It was something sad, something to be avoided if possible. That's how most voters feel about it. Democrats no longer say that. The party's base is for abortion, be proud of having one. Progressives want women to shout your abortion. Just 2 days ago, Planned Parenthood in Colorado demanded a new Disney princess, one who's had an abortion, to be a role model for girls. These are views outside the mainstream as measured by opinion polling. Are they the topics, are they the issues that Democrats are going to run on during the midterm elections? Joining us tonight is someone who has spent a long time in the Democratic Party, Jennifer Palmieri. She spent years at the heart of it. She was communications director for both the Obama White House and the Hillary Clinton presidential campaign. She's got a brand new book out, which is doing very well on Amazon. It's called Dear Madam President, and she joins us tonight. Jen Palmieri, thanks for coming on.
Happy to be here, Tucker.
So a lot has been written about the changes in the Republican Party under Trump. It's changed a lot. There's no doubt about that.
Right.
The Democratic Party has changed, I would say, as much or more, and it's gotten very little attention. Do you acknowledge that President Obama going out and saying, I'm going to crack down on illegal immigration, couldn't say that today?
No, because what's happened is the problem got a lot worse, and Congress wouldn't do anything about it. You know, when President Obama gave that speech many years ago, that was when we were trying to pass comprehensive immigration reform. And you tried to pass it, and you got it through one body, and you couldn't get it through the other. And Congress is broken, and it won't pass it. And so the problem has gotten a lot worse in the meantime. But, like,
well, that's true.
What was that? What are you talking about? The Democrats are in the mainstream of views when it comes to guns and when it comes to immigration and when it comes to abortion.
Well, then let me ask you a couple
questions. And there's no one that thinks that abortion shouldn't be safe, legal, and rare. And I guess this is the part of the show where you set me up with a bunch
I'm not setting you up.
Extreme straw men.
I mean, I don't know if it's a straw man or not.
That don't represent the view of the Democratic Party.
Let me just ask you a couple quick questions then. Are there any circumstances when non-citizens should be allowed to vote?
No, I think that citizenship, voting comes with citizenship. But that is, but what's
non-citizens should never vote in American elections.
But what's happened is that, despite the Congress is broken. It does not react to what the people want.
I agree with that completely.
The people want immigration reform. The people want more gun control.
Okay.
That is what they want.
But the details matter. So you said that non-citizens should never vote in elections. I would argue that your party will overtake you on that question soon, but we'll see.
Well, maybe if Congress never does anything to address immigration reform.
then non-citizens should vote.
No, so this is the part where
I'm asking you what you think.
Tucker, you know what? I said, I got the invitation to come on your show, and immediately I was like, there's no way I'm doing that. And then I thought, I like Tucker, and he's a smart guy.
But I'm actually asking you sincere questions.
And I am a woman with nothing to lose, so I was like, sure, I'm going to go on his show.
If you think I'm asking you an unfair question...
You really believe this, Tucker? You really believe that the Democratic Party thinks that abortion shouldn't be rare?
Let me ask you this. Hold on, I'll get to that. But do you think the government should ever take guns from law-abiding people? That's not a trick question. It's a sincere question.
I think that there should be an assault weapons ban. I don't think that people need to take their guns away, but I think there should be an assault weapons ban.
But people who own the guns,
But you are setting the conversation up to purposefully put me in a box.
I'm actually
that
not.
Is not. We don't need to.
Why? These are
absolute.
I think everyone watching, liberals and conservatives, would acknowledge that's a totally fair question. Why is that not a fair question? Because you don't want to answer it? I don't understand.
No, because it is not. It's not a sincere question.
It is very much a sincere question. It is, as a gun owner, I can promise you, I couldn't tell you how sincere it is.
My husband has a number of guns too.
That's great. But even if I didn't, should government ever take the guns of people who have not misused them?
I think we've addressed it.
And you don't think it should?
Move on.
You don't think it should? Or you don't want to answer
on your list of questions that are designed to set me up. Tucker Carlson.
If you think that's a setup, it tells you how sad our national conversation has become. Because my questions are totally sincere. They're right to the heart of the matter.
I think they are sincere. Because
they are sincere.
I think a sincere question would be when it came to guns, wow. Do you know why people are taking to the streets? Do you know why people are calling for Australian gun reform? But because children are dying in schools at an outrageous number. So